Welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a quick and easy travel makeup look. So I'm just going to start by showing you a few essentials that I always travel with and I think are very beneficial. So I have these Pacifica Crystal Melon Makeup Removing Wipes, and they smell so good. They smell like melted ice cream almost. Here I have my travel Morphe makeup brush kit, and I don't always travel with this, but I love it because it has all the essential brushes, like a flat face brush, it has a powder brush, a blush brush, foundation brush, it has a crease brush, a highlighting brush, eyebrow brush, literally anything you need. However, to keep things minimal, I love to travel with this Profusion double-ended makeup eye brush, and it has a flat top on one side and then it has a rounded side on the other side, perfect for getting in your crease area. Next, I like to travel with my makeup sponge, and this is the Sonya Kashuk makeup sponge, and I love it because it has a pointy tip and it's easy for getting underneath the eyes as well as around the nose or any large areas. I always travel with hydrating spray. So the first one is my Heritage Store Rosewater and Glycerin spray, and I love this because it helps to moisturize and purify my skin, and it is made up of only two very natural ingredients: purified water and natural roses. This stuff smells amazing. It definitely is a daily spray for me as well as traveling with it. The second one I like to use is this Giovanni Hydrating Facial Prime and Setting Mist, and this is also great to use for makeup in addition to using it every day. It also has really clean ingredients such as green tea, rose water. It also has aloe in it, glycerin. It's so great for soothing and hydrating the skin as well as makeup setting. I like to spray this on and inhale the aromas and ground myself right before I get started with my routine. And since this is so good, I do like to travel with it, so I'll put either one of these mists in a really small glass spray bottle, and I'll just use that when I travel so that way I can always take it with me. Next, I always make sure that I have an SPF, and this is the Healthy Defense Neutrogena Face Moisturizer. Let's get started. So I'm going to start with my Honest Beauty Everything Primer, and I like to apply just a little bit and I'll dot that on my face, and I like to highlight the areas that are usually pretty oily, so you'll see me focusing it more on the inner part of my face because I'm usually oily in the inner part of my face, especially my T-zone, my chin, my nose, eyelids, and then I'll just drag it on the rest of my face. So this is one of the powders that I like to use, the Maybelline Fit Me. I'm in Deep 35. And the concealer I like to use is the Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion Ultra Long Wear Concealer. So I'm just going to take a little bit of that powder and put it on the top. That way I can control how much I'm going to use. And in this little tiny jar, I have my AirSpun Loose Face Powder, and it's in the color Naturally Neutral. So I'm gonna start with my concealer, and I like to just swipe a little bit underneath my eyes to get started. I'm gonna do that on both sides, and then I'm gonna put a little bit in between my eyebrows, underneath my mouth where I usually have dark areas in that area. So I'm just gonna do that to brighten it up. And any spots I might have or any hyperpigmentation, I'm just gonna do spot conceal on those areas so that I can cover them up as well. So this is my Anastasia Brow Wiz pencil, and I'm so upset. My freaking dog bit off the spoolie and the top, so this is all that I have to work with. But you know what? We still are gonna use it because luckily he didn't get to the pencil part. So here I'm just going ahead and filling in any bald spots that I might see in my eyebrows or any areas I want to make a bit fuller. I'm just gonna go ahead and do that to my brows. And then I'm gonna go back in case I didn't get all the areas before. I'm just gonna make sure it looks good and how I like it. So now that the concealer has set for a little bit, I'm just going to go ahead and take my makeup sponge using the pointy end, and I'm going to go ahead and blend that underneath my eye. I'm going to push it into the side of my nose as well. That way it has more of a natural look and it blends into my nose. I'm going to take that all along my forehead and anywhere I apply concealer on my face. I'm just going to go ahead and blend it, and I use a wet sponge. You must use a wet sponge for this look. I'm going to go ahead and take my AirSpun, and I'm going to put that underneath my eyes and in my T-zone area and anywhere I applied the wet concealer. And I'm just going to let that sit for a little bit. Next, I'm going to go ahead and take my foundation with color in it, my powder foundation. I'm using this Kabuki brush by EcoTools, and I'm just going ahead and just buffing that into my skin, and I'm going to make sure to buff that AirSpun powder that I applied earlier. I'm going to buff that into my skin as well. So now I'm going to take a paper towel, and I'm just going to press into the areas that I usually get really oily just to make sure that the powder stays put. I'm going to go ahead and take my hydrating spray, and I'm going to spray that all over my face to set my foundation. I did want to point out that for this look I used a rounded Kabuki brush to apply my foundation. However, if you want more of an airbrush look, you can always use a flat top foundation brush. And there's the look. Now we're gonna go ahead and remove this face because I want to show you another option that you can use other than powder. If powder is not really your thing or you're afraid of it not lasting that long, then you can definitely use another technique, which I'm going to show you here. So we're just going to start that process all over again. I've already applied my face moisturizer. Now I'm applying my primer to my face. And this is the moisturizer that I use, the Pond's Nourishing Cream S. And I'm going to do more of a tinted moisturizer look. So I'm going to take my Revlon Colorstay, and I'm going to take my Pond's moisturizer. I'm going to put a little bit of that on the back of my hand. I'd say about a little less than a dime size. And then I'm going to go ahead and squeeze in my foundation. You can use whatever foundation that you have. And then you're just going to go ahead and mix that with the moisturizer. Then you want to apply that to your skin all over in the areas that you wish to cover. Take your Sonya Kashuk or any makeup sponge that you have. This just happens to be my favorite. And then just go ahead and brush that foundation into your skin. We're going to go ahead and apply concealer. Once again, I'm going to apply it underneath my eyes, through my brows, or at least through the middle part of my brows, and anywhere that I want to spot conceal. As that sits, I'm going to go ahead and comb my eyebrows with my fingers since my dog ate my freaking spoolie. But it's okay because we can still get the job done. We're going to go ahead and fill in those eyebrows like before. And then I will go ahead and take my sponge and blend in that concealer. Now it's time to use my loose powder and set my concealer. So taking my makeup sponge, I'm going to apply that loose powder in all of the areas I applied concealer. As that sets, I'm going to go ahead and put on my eyeshadow using my favorite palette to travel with, the Urban Decay Naked Petite Heat palette. And it has such good neutral colors that pretty much go with anything. To start, I'm going to use the color Hot Spell, and I'm going to apply that onto both of my lids using the flat part of the makeup eyeshadow brush. And next I'm going to take the color Heist, and I will apply that into the crease of my eyes. Then I'm going to take the color Strike, and I'm going to take that and apply it to the outer corner of my eye. And this is the darkest shade in the palette, which will give it some depth. So I'm pressing that into the outer part of my eye. Then I will go ahead and do a sweeping motion just to blend it out. So next we're going to take the color Inhale. This is the lightest shade in the palette, and I'm going to apply that underneath my eyebrows. There's that little beetle. You guys have no idea how much I loathe those beetles. Oh my gosh, they always be out to get me, y'all. So here I'm taking my Kabuki brush and I'm blending that powder into my face. And I'm taking my paper towel and I'm pressing the powder into my face, and you will see the powder come off. I do this just so it sets, as well as I'll spray my setting face mist. Now it's time to get these lashes on and poppin'. I do love to use my natural lashes. Sometimes I'll apply fake lashes, but you know, for this look we're just going to be all natural without having to do the extra steps while we're traveling. I try to make it as simple as possible. And y'all, I feel that beetle around. That's why I keep looking around, because I just feel like it's right next to me. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and keep curling my lashes until I get the look that I want. This does not hurt at all. I just make weird faces when I do my lashes. What's new? This step is optional, but if you have a bronzer or blush, you can go ahead and use that to warm up your face and give your face some definition. I didn't have a travel one, but I'm just showing you what I would do if I did. So it's highlighting time, my favorite part. I'm taking this Fenty Beauty matchstick in the color Cinnamon, and I'm applying that on my cheekbones, the high part of my cheekbones, on my nose, my cupid's bow, my chin, above my brows. And this stuff, can you see that glow, honey? This just, it just brightens me up and makes me happy. And as a double highlight, I'm taking this Becca Skin Love Glow Stick, and it's actually the Glow Glaze stick. And you will see when I apply this, it just takes my highlight to a whole nother level. I love it so much. So in the same spots I applied the Fenty highlighter, I'm gonna apply this highlighter. And can you see? It just almost like it turned on the light of the highlighter. So next onto the eyelashes. This is my favorite mascara, the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. We're gonna go ahead and apply that to my lashes. I like to start by applying it to my top lash. And then of course I got mascara on my eyelashes and on the lids, but we're gonna clean that up later. And I like to blink when I apply my mascara just to make sure that I'm coating every hair. So as I let that dry, I'm gonna go ahead and do my lips using this NYX. Actually, it's an eyebrow and eyeliner pencil, but I really love the color, so I believe in using one product for multiple things if I can. So I'm gonna put this on my lips. And on top of that, I'm gonna go ahead and use the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb in Fussy, and I'm gonna apply that over that eyeliner. Well, you know, it's a lip liner now. And I just love how this looks on me. So for coat number 2, I always do 2 coats. I'm gonna go back into my eyelashes, and then I'm going to be blinking as I apply my lashes, as I apply my mascara. And then usually I don't set my face until my mascara has completely dried, but I forgot. But luckily for me, it didn't transfer onto my skin, which usually always happens. So I'm just gonna go ahead and let that dry. And next, if you got any mascara on your lids like I usually do every time, you can just go back and clean that up using your hand or a Q-tip. Another thing that I like to do is take my eyeshadow brush, and with a little bit of the shadow that I used, I'll just go in and I'll clean that up. And that usually gives me a better, cleaner look. And there you have it. This is my final look. If you would like to see any more of these makeup or travel type videos, go ahead and leave it in the comment below. Any suggestions that you might have. Thank you so much for watching my video. Make sure that you subscribe and hit the notification bell. That way you always alerted whenever I make more videos. Until the next one, have a blessed day.